Hello everyone, my name is Christopher Cadet, and the RT facilitation technique that I will be introducing to you today is values clarification. Values clarification, also referred to as values development, is a component of TR that helps people to answer some of the questions they may have about their goals, inspirations, interests, and beliefs, and leisure. Values are expressed in everyday life through expressions of desire for justice, a cleaner environment, or world peace. Values clarification was developed in the 1960s as a tool for use in character education programs. Character education can be traced way back to the roots in America. In the 19th century, character education took on the form of discipline, the teacher's example, and the Bible. In the 20th century, support for character education began to decline with the introduction of positivism. Supporters of positivism argued that compared to the facts that were identified as objective truths, values were merely expressions of feelings and therefore were not appropriate for schools. The idea of personalism surfaced into schools in the 1960s, and it celebrated the worth, dignity, and autonomy of the individual, including the subjective self or inner life. With personalism, people began to celebrate a freedom from responsibility and a love for individual freedom. Although values clarification was designed as a tool for educators, in the 1970s, leisure professionals adopted the values clarification as an approach to leisure counseling. Values clarification began to appear in recreation articles and textbooks written to help leisure professionals in designing leisure counseling programs. Values clarification activities are presently abundant in leisure education workbooks, such as those developed by Stumbo. In this section of values clarification, I will be talking about the three populations that this RT facilitation technique can benefit. The first population that it can benefit is those with depression. Depression is a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest, also called major depressive disorder or clinical depression. It affects how you feel, think, and behave, and it can also lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems. You may have trouble doing normal day-to-day activities, and sometimes you may feel as if life isn't worth living anymore. Depression may require long-term treatment, but most people with depression feel better with medication, psychological counseling, or both. Some adaptations to this activity in regards to this condition would be having the individual speak about what they will have to go through day to day and the situations that they will have to face. Also, another suggestion would be when faced with those situations, what do they think about? What is most important, their well-being or what others feel? Depression is a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest, also called major depressive disorder or clinical depression. It affects how you feel, think, and behave, and can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems. You may have trouble doing normal day-to-day activities, and sometimes you may feel as if life is not worth living anymore. Depression may require long-term treatment. Most people with depression feel better with medication, psychological counseling, or both. Some adaptations to this activity would be to have participants open up and talk about general situations that people face every day and explain how they would handle these situations. Also have them speak about why this and how this also frustrates them and changes their mood. Opening up about why this hurts or makes them feel that way, they do. Adapting the topics to focus more on self-realization issues rather than general worldly issues helps the individual overcome or gain positive insight on what to do during stressful situations. The next population that we will be evaluating in regards to values clarification is obesity. Obesity means having too much body fat. It is different from being overweight, which means weighing too much. The weight may come from muscle, bone, fat, and or body water. Both terms mean that a person's weight is greater than what's considered healthy for his or her height. Obesity occurs over time when you eat more calories than you use. An adaptation to this activity in correlation to this condition would be to tailor the questions to how participants view themselves. The other would be to ask how they believe people from the world view them as well. This will serve as a learning experience for them because it highlights thoughts from others who are in the same position and helps them see that others go through the same things that they do as well. The main thing to do in those situations is to stay positive and to be optimistic about life. And last but not least, the final population that we will be speaking about is social phobia. This condition, I believe my brother suffers from, is a strong fear of being judged by others and being embarrassed. This fear can be so strong that it goes by the way of going to work or school or doing everyday things. People with social phobia are afraid of doing common things in front of other people and being themselves. For example, they might be too afraid to sign a check in front of a cashier at the grocery store, or they might be afraid to eat or drink in front of other people or use the public restroom. Most people who have social phobia do not know that they have social phobia and know that they shouldn't be afraid to be who they are. But the thing is, they can't control their fear. Sometimes they end up staying away from places or events where they think they might have to do something that will embarrass them or will take them out of their comfort zone. For some people, social phobia is a problem not only in certain situations, but while others have symptoms in almost any social situation. An adaptation to social phobia and correlation to values clarification would be to ask questions that are geared towards the individual, asking them why do they feel the way they do in social situations and in public places, and to place emphasis on what do they feel people think of them and how do they feel that they look in those situations. Okay, for this activity, the population that is selected is social phobia, because I believe my little brother does have this. And he will be asked a series of questions, and he will be asked certain situations where he will either answer not very nervous, nervous, or very nervous. So here we go, we're gonna begin. Okay, all right, bro. Using the phone in public, or would you not be very nervous, or very nervous?
Nervous.
Why would you be nervous?
I feel like people be looking into my business.
Okay, let's see. What about participating in small groups?
Nervous.
Why would you be nervous?
I feel like people would not want to accept my ideas
Why is that?
because people always think they're better than you.
What about eating in public places?
Very nervous.
Why would that make you very nervous?
I feel like people would judge the way you eat.
Okay. All right, what about taking authority during, or taking control over certain situations?
Nervous
Why would that make you nervous?
because I don't really know.
All right. What about going to a party with your friends?
Oh, very nervous
Why?
because I don't like parties.
Why don't you like parties?
I don't like social events.
What about meeting new strangers?
Nervous
Why?
because you don't know people's ideals when you first meet them.
How does that make you feel though, not knowing somebody's ideals?
It depends on the situation.
All right, let's say you meet somebody at school
okay, I wouldn't be that nervous because I'm in school and they wouldn't try anything.
All right, let's say you meet somebody at the mall.
They still wouldn't try anything because there's a lot of people around.
All right, let's say you're in an alley by yourself at night, and then you meet this cute girl. She walks up to you.
I'm still gonna be alert
Why?
because you don't know what bag of tricks she has.
Okay. All right, what about this? Being the center of attention.
It's 50-50.
Like, let's say like you had to perform like a poem in front of like 1,000 people.
I would be nervous
Why?
because the stadium, the stage, it depends on if I'm doing what I like or not.
My question is, do you feel like people judge you?
I'm just scared of people, period.
Why are you scared of people?
Just don't like the way people look and stuff.
Like, do you feel like that's like a good way to be living your life?
No, unless it's my inner circle of people.
So basically, you're saying if it's not like immediate family or like people who are you're comfortable with, then you wouldn't be yourself around them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. One last question. Let's say urinating in a public bathroom.
Well, I'm gonna do what I have to do.
So you wouldn't be very nervous.
No,
Why is that?
because that right there, that's something people will do every day.
But what if it's full and like there's like people like right by you?
I'm gonna just get closer. I'm gonna go to the stall that's closed.
So you rather okay, I guess you understand. All right, Bruno, thank you for your time. We really appreciate it.